All right, good afternoon, traders. This is Christian from Hertz Tribeca Trade Group, and it is Thursday, the 26th. So another big rally day today. Again, kind of gave us like a little bit of like shake and bake in the morning. We were actually like flat coming into the morning session, so kind of didn't know where things were going to go for the day. But we kind of just really ripped hard right after the open, and basically did a little bit of settling in the afternoon, and then right at the end of the day, there's more buying that's going into this market. So let's go through a couple things today. This will be a shortened video for the day because we're getting to the end of the week, which is a good thing at this point with the volatility that we're seeing. But the market continues to run. SPY finished up 5.7% for the day. The Qs right around the same performance, up 5.2%, and IWM outperforming again, so up 6% for the day. So again, it's pretty amazing. One of the things that I heard earlier in the week after we had the first rebound day, right? And I know this has been very difficult, right? We heard, and myself included, like wondering if we were going to string together 2 days. But I saw so many predictions on the interwebs on on Twitter about, oh geez, I wouldn't chase here, da 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 da. Bottom line is nobody knows what's going to happen day to day, right? I think in this situation, there's a number of things that I had been talking about last week. I said I wanted to see the small caps actually lead, right? I was on Bloomberg TV earlier today, just talking about this, but the small caps led on the way down, right? They got crunched on the way down, and some people ignored it, some other people didn't, but they led on the way down, and now they're leading on the way back up. So, do I know what the market is going to do tomorrow? No, but I think overall, like these are some of the things that we needed to see. So let me hit this one. Let me go back to. I want to talk about credit spreads as well, but let's just look at the IWM SPY, right? So it didn't outperform that much today, but again, it's off that floor of outperformance. So number one, I think that is good. Number two, the other chart that I also had up, let me just try this again, is credit spreads, right? I mean, this is also what we needed to see. This looked frightening for the last week and a half. So this is tightening, right? When you see HYG outperform treasuries, that's a good thing. That means risk on right now. So these are a lot of things. Like if the smart, so I'll talk about what's bad too in a second. But if we weren't seeing this and equities were just going up and it was just still like a small group of stocks, like low market breadth, then I would say this is probably like going to fade very quickly, right? Or odds are, right? We always talk in terms of probabilities, right? And it would get me more uneasy about this market if we were seeing very like a low breath rally, which we're not. We're seeing all kinds of things participate. So that's a good thing. That means it's that market breadth is strong, right? So take it for what it is. Now, this doesn't mean that the market is going to go up tomorrow, but it just means, I mean, take a look at all these groups today that outperformed. The banks are even rallying. They were up 8% today. Software, aerospace and defense, REITs, healthcare, even energy was up today too. So again, try not to take bring the negative out and always look for things that are going to go poorly. The one question mark is, why is this VIX still staying up here? The VIX closed around 61. Keep in mind, the VIX, it measures short-term volatility. That's both positive and negative, right? People always associate, because you have the phrase stairs up and elevator down, right? The market always falls faster. So usually the VIX is shooting higher when the market goes down. Right now it's just not giving in gains. So to me, that does concern me, and that's why, like, at the end of the day, I took off some more exposure. So rather than leaving it into tomorrow. So again, just be careful. It seems like the Twitter sphere loves to hear predictions. I see a couple people who've got a bunch of followers who are probably they feel the need to make a prediction like every day. And I get it. People love predictions, but if you're wrong 8 out of 10 times, I don't understand what the need is to keep making predictions. I think the smartest people out there are the ones who are basically realizing that they can't predict the market every day and managing risk accordingly. And if they feel like we've gone up too far too fast, then you continue to trim. But again, like I come back to right now, even though the VIX is over 60, that's a positive in the aspect of day trading. Again, I said this about a week ago too. I said this is one of the best, if not the best, day trading market that I've ever seen before, because of the volatility. So rather than try to predict what's going to happen 2 days later or 3 days later, take it for what it is. And that's what we found today. So I'll give you a couple examples of, some of the names that we traded. And again, these are all on Twitter, so you can watch. But I could show you the exact numbers. But this was a nice move into support for TDOC. And 143, like again, just looking at the chart, you're like, oh wow, it's just a move from here to there. But that's 143 to 158. That's 15 points. So there's a lot of money to be made. And then I basically, if you kind of go through the trading blotter for the day, I kind of stopped trading for most of the day. I was happy we caught ServiceNow. The CEO was on CNBC, and some of these quality CEOs, when they start talking about what they're doing, they're usually pretty impressive. So you can kind of ride a trade, but I traded just a little bit of BABA, and I got out for basically a scratch. I had one loser on the day, Square. We saw a whole bunch of call activity, but as we know, call activity, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. I had to stop myself out of that trade for a loss, which was a little bit of a bummer, but that was my only bad trade for the day. Ring was a nice trade as well today, a little bit of scalping there, but I mean, here was the ServiceNow trade, really nice move. Even went farther than where I got out of it. And then Amazon, just kind of one of these things where I've been watching Amazon saying, why is it not participating? What's going on with the name? They seem to be, this should be a great environment for Amazon. So you just kind of wait and be patient. And we got a nice move above value right at around 3 o'clock. A check back, which got me a little bit worried because I got in on the first break. But this thing delivered at the end of the day, and maybe that's a name to watch for tomorrow. So tomorrow, what's the plan? Probably I'm not going to be doing much trading because you've heard me a couple times reference how in my last Friday's video I was a little bit whiny. The reason being is you have to realize as well with this market you're going to make mistakes, right? You just don't want to repeat the mistakes. So when I do something stupid, which we're all going to make mistakes in this market, and as fast as it's moving. Keep in mind, like remember what you did, so that you don't do it again. So tomorrow will be an extremely light trading day for me. Fridays have not been good all year long. I'm not going to press it into tomorrow. I'll look for maybe a couple scalping opportunities for the trading room. Maybe something like Amazon, or if something else materializes tomorrow morning, then that's what I'll be watching for. But besides being Friday the 13th, that's really one of the only Fridays where we've had a really nice rally. I'm not going to, go, extra, risk taking into that particular day ahead of a weekend, right? Traders have not wanted to own risk into the weekend. So that's something that I will keep in mind for tomorrow. And the whole thing is, and if you've had a couple good days, the object of this game is to not give it back too, with being greedy. So that's the plan for tomorrow. But again, bottom line is trying to predict what this market is going to do on a day-to-day basis is really, I think, not what we're trying to do here. And realize that if you're on the wrong side and have, or we're on the wrong side of the market, a couple weeks ago or whatever, you learn from it and you get past it, because that's what this game is also all about, is taking away from, if you made any bad decisions, learning from it and improving on it, right? This game, no one ever completely figures this game out, but you try to manage control what you can control, which is your risk, and learn from situations so that you don't repeat them. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.